Coming up on today's show.
But remember that half of organizing is the tool. The other half is having the right processor system. So
we've got that at home now. Now what do we do with it?
Now, and with the spiral, we easily can move from one category to another nicely when it lays flat.
Yeah. Show and tell, new ways to get organized for back to school. Part 2, today on Keeping You Organized. Well, welcome back to Keeping You Organized. If you joined us last time, we were in the middle of an incredible show and tell. You know that thing you do at school where you go and you bring in your frog in a box? Well, maybe not, but you know, one of those things. Anyway, we were talking about lots of ideas on how to get organized and the tools to use, and of course, our show and tell queen is Louise Kurzika.
You know, I love the demo.
Well, of course.
Well, and it was interesting. In the beginning of the previous podcast, you talked about, we have more tools we're showing, but remember that half of organizing is the tool. The other half is having the right processor system. So we can't just have stuff in a place. We want to use tools that make it easier for us to manage whatever it is that's going into that tool or used by that.
Okay, well, last time, this was the cliffhanger last time, we were talking about
it was so exciting.
The take-home file. Remind us what the take-home file is and what we did with it when we brought it home.
Remember the take-home folder? Yeah. Most elementary school kids have a take-home folder in their backpacks with communication from school. Yeah. And we talked about, we have a location within the home, magazine file like this, a wall pocket, something where specifically it's for school mail. Yeah. And only school mail. Right. And so kids can learn the responsibility of pull out of their backpack, put it in here. Mom and Dad can access it when they have time.
Right. Okay, so we've got that at home now. Now what do we do with it?
So now Mom and Dad go get the take-home folder, and they pull out all these different communications, or it's a report card, it's about the field trip, whatever information is in here, you got to have a tool to process that.
Right, yeah.
So let's put this one down.
Okay.
And let's magically go over here. And here is my new favorite organizer.
Oh, yes.
Around each child in the household to have one folder. This is the polystackable organizer that can handle not just school. Oh, no, John. It can also handle activities for the kids. Right. So think of this again as a one-stop shop for everything information-wise around that particular child. So on the school side, we could label pockets for school info. This could be the current communications that are coming. And then maybe there's something on fundraising that we need to hold on to. Report cards, test results, other important things. You could label these for whatever it is that is relevant to how you want to categorize that information. And then on the activity side, rosters and phone numbers. I will tell you that every household that I have worked with that has kids always has had a file for phone numbers and rosters. And you know the reason why, John?
Because they need to call somebody? I don't know. What's the reason?
Well, you would think for the current roster or current phone list, like from school or such, that would make sense. But these are people who are keeping 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Yes. And the reason why is because if they want to get a hold of that kid or that family that your son played soccer with,
3 years ago.
They'll remember, even though it's a current friend, they'll remember, the phone number's on that list because they played soccer together and were on the same team because people are visual and they'll track that way. So I always laugh about that. You could put the phone number in your phone and have it there, but this is a nice reference. It's also kind of a good way to get information on parents' names, because a lot of times you know the kid's name and you really don't want to make a phone call and say, hi, is this Jason's mom? Is this Jason's dad? So it kind of is a good piece for that. And I think, again, these are gusseted a bit, so they handle more than just a couple pieces of information in there.
Yeah,
which
you know
is
what
good.
I like about this folder, as you move it forward, it's in the vertical orientation, is that if you had this many papers in just a regular 2-pocket folder, you're like trying to go through, you can't see, but this allows you to kind of subdivide it and get quickly to the paper that you need.
Yeah, and I agree. That's why I like it in this. And then like this can go in a file box,
Yep.
or it could go in a file drawer,
Yeah.
or it can be standing up with a bookend. There's a lot of ways that you can keep this handy and available. And of course, poly is going to be more durable,
Yep.
last longer. We're keeping this in the kitchen because that's pretty much where the brain child of the household is, where everything happens. So if things get spilled on it, it's not going to be terrible.
You mean my coffee stain will not stay on there for
That's
eternity,
right.
huh?
That's right. Now, this is not the only tool that I think works well for this.
Okay.
Let me show you.
You must have another one.
Let me show you something else.
Okay.
Well, let's see. What does she have here?
No, wait a
What
minute.
does she have here?
Wait a minute. How did you get your hands on this? This is a brand new product.
I know people here at Smead.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes, this is the new 24 pocket.
Yeah, 24 pockets. Can you
Poly
believe that?
organizer. And again, if you want to keep a lot of information about a particular category, like each of your kids' whole life, this is a great way to do it. So right in the front, we have a nice slide in. So if we want to keep, it can be a phone list, it can be a to-do list, it can be what's going on currently, any of the pieces. And then through here, we've got slash pockets that again can hold several pieces of paper, up to 5, 10. And with the spiral, we easily can move from one category to another nicely when it lays flat. Makes it easy to flip, but also if we're standing it up for storage, just like the other poly organizer. The neat thing you'll notice is that you've got plenty of tab space here for labels, and of course you know I've been a fan of Smead viewable labels for many, many years, before I even knew a person down here at Smead. And so what's great is when these products come with a sheet of labels, you can go for free to the viewables.com. Thank you. I had to think of it quickly.
That's a real hard one to remember.
And with your color printer, you can print up labels for all of these that are great because it really lets you these were Viewables labels that I printed out.
You know, another nice thing about this, again, you kind of touched on it, but this spiral bound, it really allows it to lay flat, and you can be like that. A lot of the other products in this category, you know, the thing starts flipping, you know, it cannot stay flat and closed. So that's a really nice
or a binder.
feature.
A binder, as soon as you get a little bit of heft in the binder, you get past maybe about an inch of material, you got to flip it up and around that ring, or you got to have a D-ring, which is a more expensive product. Well, if you're going to invest in something that's easier to use. And then the one thing that I think is a bonus here is at the very back, if this were to be a tool that you wanted to use for, let's say mom or dad are heading the fundraising project. This could be their project organizer. And now portability, we've got this little pencil case right on the end. I call it a pencil case, but
you can put the flash drive in here for the presentation that you have to do. Or these big clips or whatever.
And just basic tools, basic office supplies. We know in a household, at least in mine growing up, it was always, where is the scissors? Yeah, well, mom and dad can have their own scissors right in here. And then you always know where you can find that if you need it. You can be keeping it away from the kids. I have a client who does that with her highlighter. She's forever looking for highlighters.
Well, one thing about this, it is a brand new product. It is only available right now at myorganize.life, so it's kind of an exclusive product there. We'll probably get further distribution at a later time, but if someone wants to get a hold of this, myorganize.life, which is the Smead direct sell website. Well, Louise, we got more stuff to talk about. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, more show and tell, new ways to get organized for back to school, and we'll be right back.
Now there's a place just for you. Life can be busy, and you still have to keep it all together. That's why you like to be organized and in control. Introducing myorganize.life, a special place where you can get ideas and solutions to organize what's important to you, your important papers, your important decisions, your important life events. We show you the ideas and products to stay organized in your life. See what's new. Stop by and say hello. Visit us at any time at www.myorganize.life. It's just for you. myorganize.life by Smead. find us at www.myorganize.life. myorganize.life.
We are back now on Keeping You Organized, talking about show and tell, new ways to get organized for back to school with Louise Krzyzika, everythingstogether.com. And Louise, now we've got these great projects organized. We could take it to school. I mean, I'm feeling so organized right here. But, one issue that kids deal with and parents deal with is probably more too. Kids probably don't care as much, is keeping stuff for a longer term. Because some stuff we want to keep, right?
Oh, that's right.
Or we might want to keep a lot of stuff, right?
There's people I've worked with who really want to keep a lot of stuff.
And every report card or whatever it is, right?
Or every project that the kids have worked on, or every piece of artwork that they've brought home. And that's especially true with younger children, because one, they're pretty prolific. They bring home a lot of stuff. I always laugh because I think about when I was in school, we had a Think and Do book.
Yeah.
That was your workbook. And you, at the end of the year, you brought that home, and what did my mother do with it? She threw it away. Because it was workbook. Yeah. But now the workbook comes home a page at a time. So parents get kind of overwhelmed with this because they think, is this important? Should I keep it? Should I not? Some of it, you do want to. If your child studied really hard or they had a real struggle with something and then conquered it, that's a great story to remember. And some of the artwork, you want to be able to divide it. But what I find is interesting is most people store those things longer term somewhere away from the kitchen. Yeah. So it requires an extra step to have to consciously pick those things up and go on a regular basis and file them. Yeah. I got an easier solution.
Well, I just can't wait for the show and tell on, what are we calling this, the archiving or the longer term story.
Now, if I was going to do show and tell, I would like to bring this one. This would be my favorite.
All right. First of all, it's so pretty.
Here it is. It's the bookshelf organizer.
This has got to be one of my favorite products that we put out. And it's
great looking.
Yeah, it looks really good, and it works really well on the bookshelf, of course, because it doesn't take up a lot of space.
Exactly. So again, our vertical space instead of horizontal.
Yep.
And so how I would suggest using this is that work product from school or art product gets stored in here immediately. So keep this again in the kitchen, maybe next to some of your other pieces, not so close to the stove, because I'm going to talk in a minute about how you use this long term.
Yep.
But short term, you can, again, using the viewable system, you can create labels, and you could divide this. There's 6 different segments here. You can divide them however you see fit. So for some people, a lot of the people that I work with, I think it would be helpful if they had one slot for just school-related work for a particular grade, and then one slot for the artwork, the 8.5 by 11 pages that kids will bring home. And then do the same thing for 2nd grade, the same thing for 3rd grade. When you get to 4th grade, you'll get a new one. And there you may not have as much production of stuff. So you might only need one slot for each grade. And certainly as they get older. So you might actually buy 3 of these for one child for their whole career of school. And then this is the cool part. Isn't that a lovely thing to hand to your child when they're a grown adult? To say, hey, these are all of your school papers or mementos. Or when you're getting ready for graduation and you want to make up a special scrapbook, you can go through and get a selection of things from here. Or if you wanted to maybe make something special for Grandma and Grandpa, take a piece of artwork and frame it as a gift for a holiday or a birthday. It would all be so handy and available. And one, it's not in the file cabinet, it's not so far away, so it's really easy each week to load this up with new items. Isn't that great? I just love it.
Another thing I love about this is I love this little metal label tab. Now you have it labeled up there, which is great. But this just kind of reminds me of the classic library, doesn't it?
And this label will release. So this is more because in using it, it's sort of, maybe I want something bigger, more catchy. But at the end of the time, I might like to put something, mementos, or I might want to have a special phrase on there. That way you sort of you give yourself some time to decide what you want to name it. And these come in a variety of colors.
We got Monaco blue and orange. Now, you know what I think we need to do here is take the diploma that we've graduated with. We'll put that in here.
From our show and tell.
From our show and tell. I think we've made it through the year with all kinds of tools between this program and the first part, our previous podcast I think we've covered a lot. So the only thing we have left to talk about is everythingstogether.com, how people can get a hold of you, Louise.
Thank you. So Louise at everythingstogether.com is a great way, by email or by phone, 952-939-8080. I'm in the Twin Cities area of Minnesota, but I do virtual organizing as well as local hands-on. I do tend to work with people who have lifelong or ongoing challenges with disorganization, maybe because of neurobiological reasons like ADD, or for mental health issues like depression, anxiety, hoarding, those kinds of things. And all these things are great tools for that audience.
Well, if people want, we'll have lots of show notes on this. And again, for people who are listening to the podcast, not watching, I encourage you to go to smead.com/podcast. Look up the episode on Back to School Show and Tell with Louise. We'll have show notes that talk about where you can get a hold of these items, how you can get a hold of Louise. So it's been a great 2 episodes on Back to School. Hopefully you're ready to go and your kids are all psyched up. And if they aren't, have them watch or listen to this episode as well. And we'll see you next time on Keeping You Organized.